So in this video, we're going to talk about why making more money won't help you, especially when it comes to your finances, right? Because obviously when it comes to inflation, everyone's dealing with inflation right now. Things are more expensive, right? You know, housing costs more, groceries, gas, things that you just want to go shopping. Everything costs more, right? And no matter how much they tell you that inflation rate is coming down, and even though that's true, like the rate is coming down, but inflation overall hasn't come down, right? Things are more expensive today than they were a year ago, right? Even though the rate at which it's climbing is gone down, things are definitely more expensive, and people can feel that, right? People can look at their bank account, people can look at their situation and say, why am I still struggling? Why am I still living paycheck to paycheck? Why when I look at my bank account, I don't got that much money? And people can feel that. So it doesn't matter how much they tell you about inflation, the rate is coming down. People understand when it comes to their finances, they're struggling. So because of this, like, what's the natural thing for people to do, right? Obviously money, right? Like, I need more money. And for most people, the place to get their money is obviously their job, their employer. So, but here in this video, we're going to talk about why more money is not going to help you, right? And a big reason for that is because for a lot of people, what happens is, like, the more money they make, the more they spend, right? And this has happened to everyone, like even myself. Like you make more money, like you have this idea that, oh man, if I can just make more money, then I can, cover my bills and I can make, do the things I need to do. But what tends to happen is, you make more money, you tend to spend more money, and then by the end of the month, you're like, damn, why the hell do I still have no money? Why am I still living paycheck to paycheck? And that's because people have poor spending habits when it comes to their money, right? People buy things that they don't need, and it's a natural thing, right? Like many people struggle with it, and for a lot of people, they think it's obviously because the employer's not giving them enough money, or maybe they don't make money at their job. But a lot of the times, if you really looked at your finances, a lot of times it's because you probably spend more than you make. Right now, obviously, I'm not in your financial situation. I haven't seen it, so it's hard to tell. But most people, and I know this even for myself, right? I know the reason why I was struggling is because I was spending more than I make. And if I just looked at my finances and said, all right, I have X amount of money coming in, and then X amount of money is coming out. If I saw that, I could be like, all right, I need to cut some things out. And that's for a lot of people, right? But people don't have that tendency. People have this idea that you know what, they look at their bank account and they're like, all right, this is how much money I have. This is my reality, right? They're like, okay, why don't I have more money in that bank account? Oh, maybe because I just don't make enough money. So therefore, I need more money at my job. So let me ask my employer for a raise. In reality, it's just that it's because you have poor spending habits. And for a lot of people, like I said, like depending on your situation, like maybe it's because you don't make enough money, but it's hard to tell if you haven't really looked at your finances and really like have it like put out in a spreadsheet and say, all right, this X amount of money is coming in, X amount is coming out. If you're not doing that, it's really hard for you to figure out exactly why you're still living paycheck to paycheck. You're struggling financially. And until you do that, it's gonna be hard for you to really like find a solution outside of just saying I need more money. Right. And who knows why? Maybe there's people have this idea that they don't think that they can make more money, or they have this idea that they have this scarcity mentality when it comes to making money. It's like, since I make what 50K, I make 60K at my job, I'm probably not gonna make more than that anytime soon. I'm just gonna spend money because obviously like you have one life and you want to live it out, you want to live it up, you want to enjoy the things, you want to buy nice things, and so people have this tendency to say, you know what, let me just spend it on these nice things, and then they figure out, they're trying to figure out why they're struggling financially. When instead of saying that, you could be like, all right, so how can I make more money? Instead of saying I can't, you find ways to make more money. So you get the mind rolling, you start thinking of ways to make more money. And you have to do this, and you have to have that mentality, especially when it comes to that, because the way inflation works is like if you're not finding ways to multiply your money, inflation is going to eat it up, right? You have to find, whether it's investing in stocks, whether investing in business, you have to find ways to multiply the money, because your job is not enough to build wealth in this country, in this world. Like, you need to find ways to multiply your income, and if you have this mentality where you're just sticking your money in a savings account, then inflation, we know the banks, they don't pay anything on interest, so that inflation just eating that up. You have to find ways to multiply that income, and for a lot of people, it's just like getting understanding how to invest in the stock market, investing in real estate, whatever it is, whatever vehicle that you use in order to multiply that money. You have to do that. Like, your job alone is not enough to build wealth, and you have to have this mentality that, instead of just spending, I have to then take that money and, like I said, multiply it. And once and that's the thing, like once you have your finances in order, then you can determine if more money is needed. And this is the thing I'm saying, like if you have a spreadsheet, right? All right, you say, all right, this is the amount of money that's coming in. and then XYZ, all the, you list all the expenses, and if it's still coming out where you don't have enough discretionary savings, then you can say, you know what, I need to make more money, right? And whether it's like asking for a raise at your job, or creating side hustles, starting a business, but you need to make sure you have your finances in order, right? Because you don't want to get into the habit of saying, all right, I make more money, and then you spend more money. Once you do that, it doesn't matter how much money you make, right? It's not gonna matter. You have to, once you've developed that habit where you're saying, all right, you know what, I know what's coming in, I know what's coming out. And once I make more money, I'm not going to increase my expenses by a certain amount. I'm going to keep my expenses the same, and then increase that income, and then I can use that income to do things like multiply that money. And that's the most important thing. You have to find ways to multiply your income, but you can't do that until you have your finances ordered. You need to have a clear picture of what money's coming in, what's going out, and you have to really be able to control that urge to buy things that you don't need, right? Delay buying that brand new car, right? Delay buying that new TV, like, so you can watch that new television, so you can watch TV. Waste your time watching television, buying things that you just don't need. You have to make sure you get your finances in order, right? And once you've done that, once you have an idea, you've developed good habits when it comes to your money, then if you find yourself that you need more money, then you can say, you know what, all right, I can find ways to make more money, and I can maintain my that same lifestyle without having to increase my expenses. So that's important, and you have to do that. That you have to figure that out. Once you and that was my situation when I was struggling with debt. Once I was able to pay off my debt and had a better understanding of my finances, I said, all right, boom. As I'm making more money with my affiliate marketing business, right, I never increased my expenses. I kept it the same. Right? I may have bought little things here and there, but I never increased my expenses at the same rate of my income, right? I made sure to maintain and buy things that I need. And if it's something that I needed or wanted, I would create a separate little account where I say, all right, whatever's in that account, that's what I'll use. If I want to travel, I'll create a travel account. Create a spending account where I feel like you want to go shopping, or you want to go to restaurants. You create different accounts where, in my bank account, you create different accounts where you say whatever's in that account, that's what I use, and that's the way you're supposed to budget, right? So just understand that, like, making more money is not going to help you if you haven't had your finances in order, right? You got to make sure you understand where your money's, what's coming in, what's coming out. And then once you've done that, then if you need to make more money, obviously you should always be trying to make more money, finding different ways, and whether starting a business, like I said, investing in real estate, investing in stocks, or creating a little side hustle. You should always be finding ways to make more money. You should never just get stagnant and be content with what you have, right? Especially with inflation, especially with things getting so expensive, you should always find ways to multiply your money without your labor, right? Obviously, outside of your job, you should find ways where your money's working for you. So that's all I got for you guys today. If you found this video helpful, make sure to leave a comment down below, hit the like button, and share. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe. All right, so you guys take care. Have a good one. Later.